It is a great pleasure to welcome to Cinema Showcase the star of Fried Green Tomatoes, a wonderful actress, Academy Award winner, Kathy Bates. Kathy, it's so good to see you, and thank you for taking this time out.
My pleasure, Jim.
When you read the script for Fried Green Tomatoes, did it affect you as deeply as it seemed to have affected everybody in the audience the other night? When I saw it, everybody was just overwhelmed by this film.
It really did, and I must say I've never had that first-time experience with a film like that. Usually when I see a film for the first time, it's not at a press screening, it's not even at a cast or crew screening, it's usually at a more private function, and I'm very picky about my performance, and I usually come away disappointed and thinking, oh, I've got to see this 3 or 4 more times, and I went with my sister, my husband, and my agent, and I just loved it. I don't know what it was about this film. I was just really, I had the experience that the audience had. I went with it all the way. I liked what I did. I liked going back in the 30s and seeing the performances of Mary Stuart Masterson and Mary Louise Parker and Cicely Tyson, and I cried, I laughed. I was so thrilled to have had that experience. And then when afterwards I thought, my gosh, I saw a movie that I was in. How is this possible? You know, it's never happened to me before. It's an extraordinarily beautiful film.
Now, when you say, are you usually very critical of your own work?
Yes, I am. I feel that's the one way that I learn that I can make things better. And I think also coming from the stage, one crafts the performance from night to night.
With as much stage training as you have had, we often hear that that stage is the actor's medium and film is the director's medium. Have you found that to be the case, or do you find that you've had a lot of freedom to really do what you like to do on film? Well,
generally I do feel that to be the case, that theater is more of an actor's medium in the final analysis, because certainly the director cuts the film, not the actor. But in this case, I feel like I'm learning. The more roles that I do in film, the more freedom I allow myself, to play and to stretch the limits of what can happen on screen, to give as many choices for a particular scene. I'm still very new at filmmaking, and so it's a whole learning process for me. I'm enjoying it.
Let me ask you a bit about the Academy Awards. I've been trying to think of a new way to ask the question, were you surprised when you won it? But there's simply no other way to ask. I don't think it could have been a surprise that you knew you gave a superb performance. You had to know that deep inside. But when they called your name as Best Actress of the Year, what went through your mind?
Relief, and then, oh my God, I'm going to really have to go through all of this. I thought I had a shot. I really did, I'll be honest with you. And it was a very special day because I was very calm all day. It was a day of reflection for me. I'm 43 years old. I started out in this business back when I was 20. And it was a time to think about all the places that I'd worked, all the people I'd worked with, all the different shows, all the characters. And so the whole evening had a continuity for me. It was very meaningful to me to be there, to see friends at Shriners Auditorium, people in Hollywood that I knew. I didn't feel like a stranger in Hollywood. And when my name was called, I just sailed on up there, and it felt really good.
Yeah, I think some people assume that with Misery, this was suddenly Kathy Bates came from nowhere, and yet you're not exactly an overnight success,
no,
really.
But it's nice to feel new at my age, too.
Well, if I had my way, and I think I know I'm not alone in this, an Academy Award nomination for yourself and certainly Jessica Tandy for Best Actress, not out of the question for your new film, because these two performances are really quite extraordinary. The chemistry, the way the two of you worked together was really quite special. What was the rapport like?
Well, you know, she's from the theater, and we felt really comfortable with each other, like an old pair of shoes in a way, and the ease that we felt with each other and the chemistry off screen, I think, is reflected on screen. I feel like Kathy learned as much from Jessica as Evelyn learned from Nenny. At times, I had to pinch myself and say, my gosh, this is really Jessica Tandy. What a privilege it is to be here. But she's not about that. She's about the work.
Right.
She's about the character. And so that's what we did. That's what I'm about. I'm about the work and the character. And I just came away from the whole experience with such a respect for her passion and for her courage. And she's a great lady.
You know what's fascinating from having talked with her before, and of course you know this far better than I from having worked with her, that I found certainly in talking with her, age is simply not a question. It doesn't enter your mind that the lady is whatever age she is.
It's amazing. We shot in a nursing home outside of Atlanta and down in Noonan. And she came for rehearsal in her little jeans and her denim jacket and her tennis shoes, and she looked like a 16-year-old girl. There's just a light that emanates from her, and those blue eyes, which unfortunately got covered up for this part under brown contact lenses, but there's just something about her. I don't know what it is. It's just this inner spark, and it's just such a privilege to be around her.
Well, again, my congratulations to you on Fried Green Tomatoes, and personally, I can't wait to go see it again.
Oh, Evelyn, hey.
Hey.
Do you like my roses? Since I can't get home to look at my own roses, I made myself a paper garden. Got everything but the bugs.
They're lovely.
You been here long?
Happy birthday.
Oh.
I shouldn't have woken you up.
Of course you should have. Don't you never let me sleep through a visitor's day, honey. I look forward to them all week.
So do I, Miss Threadgood. So do I.
Oh, I can't believe you remembered and you made me fry green tomatoes. They're delicious.
It's your recipe. Are they cold?
No, they're just the way we used to have them at the Whistle Stop Cafe. You couldn't be sweeter to me if it was my own daughter.
Where's your napkin? Wait. Queen.
Oh! You know, I don't feel 83. Sort of slipped up on me.